Looked at the door, which was about a meter from the end of my bed. I saw what I could only describe as the shape of a man. A complete black figure of a man with no face, just a jet black shadow. And where his eye should have been was a reddish, dull glow, with no consistency or shape, fading into the back of its head. It was really scary for me at that age, and I could only focus on its faceless head for a few seconds before it scared the crap out of me. I did what any other kid would do, and I hid under my blanket.
Doesn't work.
A couple of minutes later, I peeked out from underneath the blanket, and it had vanished. There was absolutely nothing there. What did you think of that story?
It strangely sounds a lot like the other stories.
Yeah.
It sounds very familiar.
Yeah, so he goes 14 years without having another experience. And then one night, he was sleeping in his bed at home, just like any other night. And all of a sudden, I woke up. It felt like I hadn't been sleeping at all. I was wide awake. The room was dark with spectrums of light shining through the blinds, which lit up a fraction of the bedroom floor. I could sense a weird or strange presence in the room with me, kind of like the feeling you get when you know someone is watching you. I knew something wasn't right, and when I looked to my left, standing beside me was a figure of a man, just like the figure from my childhood. This time, though, it was standing right next to my bed. Next to me. Looking straight down at me. Up close, it looked like a silhouette of a man wearing a long coat with a broad-based top hat. And its eyes were missing again. Replaced with a dull, reddish glow from where his eye sockets belonged. Ah! Is what I heard myself shout in my head. But when I tried to shout out for real, I could not speak or breathe. I was completely paralyzed. I could not move a muscle in my whole entire body. I felt as if I was going to pass out with fright or go into shock. Then whatever it was that was standing next to me grabbed my t-shirt just under my neck and by its two hands started to shake me violently. My whole body was bouncing up and down on the bed uncontrollably as it shook me over and over again. I could not see anything in the room at this stage because my head was shaking back and forth. I tried to call my mother's name, but it felt as if I had no lungs to breathe, and no air to draw in to speak. My heart felt as if it were going to explode, or either stop with the fright. It didn't stop shaking me up and down for approximately 35 to 40 seconds before it let me go. But when it did let me go, my body dropped flat on the bed. It was stiff from head to toe, and I laid there trying to gasp for air. Then with all my power, I rolled off the bed onto the floor as fast as possible, stood up and turned the light on. I looked around, but there was nothing in the room at all. Just my room. No windows open, nothing or no one there. I was shaking and still in shock. I didn't know what to do or what was going on. I mean, he paints a good picture. You get to see it in your mind's eye as you're talking about it. He used holy water on his room, so he was like splashing it all around his room. To bless it, he would wear a crucifix to bed, and then one night, the Hatman or something came into his room. He felt cold hands trying to strangle him, but they couldn't get their grip. They couldn't squeeze tight enough, and then he started mocking it. He was like,
"Too slippery for you, fucks.
You're not strong enough." Then he fell asleep, and he woke up again. Somebody was walking around his room, snapping their fingers.
Like jazz.
As they walked around the room, they snapped their fingers until they were right in front of his face, and then they snapped them again in front of his face.
Ugh.
He opened his eyes, and he didn't see anything. And then he heard what sounded like somebody punching the wall across from his bed. So he felt like the attempts that he made to protect himself pissed off the Hatman.
Hatman's got some anger issues.
Yeah, he's like, "God damn it!
Fucking cross!
Stupid bitch!
Holy water! Damn it!
All I can do is snap! Like a 1920s villain."
He only snaps with one hand, because with the other hand, he's adjusting his handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Okay, man, let me tell you how I feel about Tall Hatman.
Okay.
I do think it's very creepy that everyone keeps seeing the same vision of the same being.
Yeah.
But let's stop and think about this. Okay. They say that sleep paralysis usually happens within a period of turmoil and being really upset, like something very dramatic going on in your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
What's scarier than something giant and formidable like that? I mean, like, why wouldn't somebody see that? You know, I just think it makes sense. I think that the hat kind of hides identity and makes it a little bit more mysterious. I think really all this is sleep paralysis. I think this is that moment of being awake and asleep when there's just no clear, what's the word?
Delineation?
Yeah, of what it really is, what's going on. I think it's like daydreaming, basically.
But why is it the same for everybody?
It's not, though.
Why is it similar for everybody?
Once again, I think it's because, I really do. I think it's because, especially when they're children, what's scarier than an adult? Than someone really tall, right? You know what I mean? And someone looming and lurking in the shadows. I mean, it just makes sense to me that it is just a part of the sleep paralysis. I could be totally fucking wrong, and it could actually be a demon. Come at me. I ain't scared of you, Hatman. Come get some.
So, in this book, Dominic talks about his mom, the next day after this last incident happened, said that she had gone to a psychic because she was convinced that the house was haunted. Okay? And so, the psychic told her that because when somebody dies, like if you have somebody in your family die that you live with, when they leave, their energy leaves the house, and that leaves a void.
Sure.
Okay? And that void is going to get filled. That void is going to get filled. It's going to either be filled with something positive or something negative. But the problem is that when you're going through that grieving process, you have all these negative emotions, and so it pulls in the negative energy. This is just...
Well, that's what they talked about in the movie, was that they use these beings, or whatever it is, use these negative emotions as a battery, in a sense, that it gives them power to be able to fuck with people.
Right.
And that's how they continue to get their energy, is by absorbing it through their fear.
So he talks about his sister dying. One of his sisters died. And during that time, their dad had left them. He was like drinking himself to death, and everybody was just having all this like drama in their life. And that's when he had the first experience. So basically she told her that she had to like do this protection thing on her house and get a priest over there to clean the house and whatever. The priest came, he did the ceremony or whatever, and then it stopped. So, I mean, I think that, I don't know what I think. I don't really have an opinion, I guess. I could see how your thought process is probably could be true. But I also don't want to discount
all the stories,
what other people are feeling. Yeah.
And that's just it. I'm not trying to discount anybody either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying this is how I feel, what it is. That's all.
Okay. Well, send us your Hatman stories.
Yeah, I do believe you guys.
Yeah. Send us your ghost stories, your whatever stories you have. Skinwalkers. Anything.
Rate. Subscribe. Review.
Rate, subscribe, review.
Also, we're starting a Patreon. We have early access to episodes, bonus episodes, and outtakes, and we will also be watching spooky movies and shows and giving you the commentary. So stay tuned for more information, and if there's something you want us to watch, let us know. Yeah, so there's going to be 4 tiers on the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/thosespookinos. You can see what the tiers are. The higher tiers get better stuff. The top tier gets a t-shirt, which is pretty cool. And I think Alex and I are going to maybe design an exclusive Patreon t-shirt and sticker. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. I guess we're done. I think we're good, man. Okay. Well, peace out, everybody. Stay spooky, friends. Okay, bye.